Public-private partnerships, PPPs, are likely to feature increasingly in Nevis's development, according to Premier Mark Brantley, who was on 20th February delivering the budget address in the Nevis Island Assembly. Brantley said local resources are very limited, indicating it is necessary to not only attract foreign direct investment, but also to promote and facilitate public-private partnerships. Premier Brantley gave examples of current PPPs the Nevis Island administration is pursuing.
We continue to collaborate with the proposed new owners to redevelop the Nisbet Plantation Inn into a world-class resort facility. We have continued our efforts to expedite the development of 2 resort facilities on the lands at Penny's estate, and we have made available an incentive package to the developers for the construction of a marina at Cades Bay to develop the yachting sector. The preferred hotel brands being sought are luxury brands, such as Six Senses, Auberge, One and Only, Rosewood, and Aman. This will ensure that Nevis remains firmly fixed in the luxury market to which we cater. We continue to leverage and seek partnership for the development of the former Rest Haven property to construct a high-end facility consisting of duty-free shops, restaurants, entertainment and commercial spaces, along with a berthing facility to accommodate small and medium-sized yachts with all attendant services. This will ensure that our island attracts the lucrative and growing yachting market, while also improving the quality of life of our people through job creation.
The Premier indicated that stimulating business investment in Nevis's economy is just as critical as a tightened fiscal policy focus on debt reduction. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
The Ministry of Education announced recently that it has extended the period of compassionate care for the staff and students of the Irishtown Primary School. The school will now remain closed over the period Monday, February 20th to Friday, February 24th, during which time the ministry will continue to reach out as necessary. The services of the Guidance Counseling Department will continue to be available, the ministry said in a statement. The school was closed last week after a security guard who worked at the school was killed in the school's vicinity. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Lisa Pistana, in an interview with the SK Newsline, appealed to residents to show compassion to the teacher and students of the school, as well as the family of the deceased.
They need an opportunity to grieve, and we ask the community to allow them to grieve. Everybody wants to know what happened, but think about it. You're asking people who are going through their own grief, their own issues, and they need to be able to deal with that privately. So we ask you to give them that sense of privacy and respect. And if it is you're going to contact our staff, share words of encouragement, share words, from scripture.
Meanwhile, the Royal St. Christopher and the Nevis Police Force has said information suggesting that the victim, Delia Hanley from Lime Kiln, was a witness in a court case is false. In a press release, the police said information being circulated on social media stating that Delia Hanley was a witness in any prior criminal matter is false. The release said the Violent Crime Unit is presently following every lead to develop the investigation and pinpoint the motive and possible suspects in this homicide. Additionally, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force would also add that upon responding to this report, there were no gunshots fired by any member of the security forces. Persons with information pertaining to this homicide investigations are asked to call the Violent Crime Unit at 465-2241 or 662-3468. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Living in the Caribbean is like paradise until you try to sell or buy an item online. If only there was an online marketplace that caters to your region. Well, no, there is. On Buy Sell SKN, you can easily buy or sell used and new items, browse for services, and it's completely free. Visit buysellskn.com, create your free account, sell your item or service, and get paid.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips. Nestled between evergreen mountains and the Caribbean Sea on the island of St. Kitts is the Mill House Guest House and Convention Center. With breathtaking views, a rugged, beautiful shoreline, and immaculate manicured gardens make this the perfect location for your holiday, event, or wedding. With a large convention center, apartments with balconies providing stunning views, and a secluded cottage for larger family groups or honeymooning couples looking for some privacy. We have something for everyone. Book your stay at www.millhouseskn.com or visit our Facebook page, the Mill House Guest House and Convention Center, an oasis of tranquility.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
Pioneer of the steel band in St. Kitts and Nevis, Melvin "Melly" Hewlett, has passed away. Melly, as he is affectionately called, was a leading light of the steel band community, having contributed 55 years to the art form as a player, arranger, tuner, composer, and a teacher. In November, he was awarded the Sweet Strings Award for Musical Excellence and Promotion of National Carnival. Here was the profile read on him at that awards ceremony.
Tonight we show you love and honor you. You are our beloved steel pan maker, tuner, player, and teacher. Melvin Hewlett has been involved in Carnival before National Carnival in 1971. His pan playing is exceptional, which contributed greatly in the Coca-Cola Coronets pan group winning the first Panorama competition in 1971. He has been playing for over 55 years. All the experience gathered over the years, he has passed on to hundreds of youths, including myself, leading many a youth pan group to victory in Panorama competitions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure, it is our pleasure to welcome Melvin "Melly" Hewlett as we present to him this Sweet Strings Award as part of Sugar Mass Awards.
I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
History and heritage took center stage recently when the owner of MSR Hotel St. Kitts turned over an estate bell to the St. Christopher National Trust. The bell had been a fixture at the Fisherman's Wharf entrance. The idea of this transfer of the bell began with a conversation between Greg Pereira, whose father Colin Pereira was the original owner of the Ocean Terrace Inn and Fisherman's Wharf, and Gary Colt, MSR Media Project Coordinator. The handover took place on site on 17 February 2023 in the presence of some of the MSR hotel staff, while Colt and Pereira spoke about their interaction.
Well, MSR, under the leadership of Mr. Philippe Martinez, has acquired what is known in St. Kitts as OTI and the Fishermen. The project that we're going to undertake is renovating the hotel, which has started, and then we're going to start renovating Fisherman's Wharf. While we did this, Mr. Greg Pereira approached me, as we're long-term friends, and told me about this wonderful bell. Gave me a little synopsis of its history, after which I spoke to Mr. Philippe Martinez, explained that all to him, and he was amazed of the history of the bell, and said, of course, we have to donate this bell to the heritage of St. Kitts and preserving. So we all decided to unite today to do this handover in favor of St. Kitts, led by Mr. Greg Pereira and ETSU and the Ministry of Sustainable Affairs and Environment. So we're proud to do this gesture for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, especially considering it seems to be the only known existing bell from that heritage.
I did, in fact, allude her to the bell being and the significance of the bell, as it was essentially the heartbeat of plantations for centuries, not just for enslaved people, but also for indentured laborers. It's really an epic moment for me to know that this is going to go into the good hands of our National Trust. And it really is a privilege to be here as part of the National Trust team to see it handed over by MSR. Thank you so much.
Dr. Joy Clark, Minister of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, the ministry with responsibility for the National Trust, said heritage is an important facet of the government's sustainable transformation. Laverne Keynes, Vice President of the National Trust, also spoke of the importance of the bell to the country.
Many of us don't know that the National Trust falls under purview of the Minister and Ministry of Sustainable Development, and we are committed to including heritage, to promoting heritage, our history, as part of our sustainable transformation. What we have here is something that's part of who we are as petitions and divisions, and we're happy that MSR team has so graciously donated this to the National Trust, and I'm very proud as Minister of Sustainable Development to be here to witness this moment, and also to continue the partnership between the National Trust, Ministry of Sustainable Development, UNESCO Man and Biosphere, and MSR.
It is very significant. I am certain that there'll be lots of people who were not aware that there was a bell, much less the history behind the bell. And so we're happy that we were chosen at the National Trust to be the custodian of this bell. We hope that Mr. Pereira could provide some more details so that when it is actually displayed in the museum, the average citizen, the boy in Payon, and the girl in Molyneux, and the young man in Jessops and Nevis can come and read the history on this bell. You know, we can't escape it that this was part of our history. And so we may as well embrace what it was and use it as a reminder of how far we've come.
Bradshaw Keynes, the Executive Director of the National Trust, said it is important to protect and to preserve the heritage of the people of St. Kitts.
I first want to thank Mr. Philip Martinez, who is not here, but he's the founder of MSR. And I know that his thoughts are with us this afternoon. We want to thank him because he's the person who had to give the final consent for the handing over of this bell. Now, you know the Act, which we are governed by at the St. Christopher National Trust. The Act guides us, and it is imperative that we protect and preserve the history and heritage of the persons, the people of St. Kitts. And so, this bell, which is very historical, it is one of the most important items that will be displayed in our museum at the house, I would say, the home of the St. Christopher National Trust.
According to the Executive Director, a structure will be built that will house the bell that will go on display shortly with its relevant history. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Living in the Caribbean is like paradise until you try to sell or buy an item online. If only there was an online marketplace that caters to your region. Well, now there is. On Buy Sell SKN, you can easily buy or sell used and new items, browse for services, and it's completely free. Visit buysellskn.com, create your free account, sell your item or service, and get paid.
looking for a place to host that special event, conference, meeting, social event, party, whatever the occasion, your best option is the Millhouse Convention Center in Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Located on the picturesque Garvey's Estate, the Millhouse Guest House Convention Center has enough space for outdoor events overlooking the Caribbean Sea. If you're looking indoors, the center is equipped with amenities needed to make your event a success. And by combining both spaces, you're sure to have a memorable event, no matter the occasion. Call the offices at Millhouse Guest House and Convention Center to book your next event on simply the most beautiful place in St. Kitts. Call 668-1392. Millhouse Convention Center at Garvey's Estate, Palmetto Point, St. Kitts. Making your event memorable.
A new set of eyes will soon be on the coast of Haiti, a country plunging deeper into chaos. The Royal Canadian Navy is deploying patrol ships off the waters of Port-au-Prince. They'll conduct surveillance and gather intelligence. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made the pledge at CARICOM. Caribbean leaders invited him as a special guest, in part to try to contain the security crisis in Haiti.
We have seen in the past that the presence of Coast Guard ships or ships there from allies significantly dissuaded the gangs.
Armed gangs are unleashing extreme violence. Kidnappings, rapes, and murders have surged since the Haitian president's assassination in 2021. Canada sent a military plane earlier this month to back Haitian police. Haiti's unelected prime minister met with Trudeau in Nassau. Ariel Henry warned the security situation is deteriorating. Henry and UN officials are calling for an international ground force, with the U.S. suggesting Canada take the lead. The Bahamas and Jamaica are willing to send troops, but so far Canada is not.
If some Canadian armed force or police officer are killed in confrontation in Haiti, what will be the reaction of Canadian people?
Many Haitians and people across the Caribbean are skeptical.
The long, sad story of Haiti has been everybody and anybody jumping in and trying to take control of civil unrest, civil war, and just making an utter mess of it.
Political scientists believe the first priority should be holding free and fair elections.
The dilemma is that in the meantime, a lot of Haitians are suffering.
90 sailors will be on board the two vessels headed to Haiti, but the deployment comes at a time when military experts say the Navy is strapped for resources. Donna?
All right, Turia Isri in the Bahamas. Thanks.
The development follows robust discussions with French airline Air Antilles. Ms. Williams says from April the 1st this year, the Grantley Adams International Airport will welcome a new daily schedule of flights between Barbados and Dominica, St. Lucia, Martinique, and Pointe-à-Pitre in Guadeloupe. The French airline based in Guadeloupe has been flying to Barbados since February 2017.
For the ramping up of Air Antilles from 3 days to a daily service connecting the French Caribbean through St. Lucia and Dominica to Barbados, this is a significant addition of seats. We are going from 15,000 seats to now 35,000 seats. So a significant increase. And this significant increase has a strong economic impact during this time. We have calculated it at an increase of about $9 million across the board.
According to Ms. Williams, as part of Barbados' post-COVID recovery strategy, it's time to look at the best way to increase activity between Bridgetown and the Caribbean, especially during what she described as a soft summer period. Ms. Williams says with some 35,000 seats anticipated annually, this should boost earnings significantly.
We see this as a major step of addressing what is known as a soft summer. Now, traditionally, we've always had softer summers than winters, but we have been having soft summers because there's no connectivity throughout the Caribbean. Now, we thought it be very timely for Air Antille because we're going to be welcoming in the CHTA marketplace, and our Caribbean brothers must be able to come to Barbados to showcase their destination as well. Then we move into our sweetest summer festival, Crop Over, and we know that that is our Caribbean brothers again who participate, and that means that hotels can benefit. So I think we are listening and working with our hoteliers to make sure that we address the regional airlift as best as possible.
There's no expectation now that this Kyrgyz rescue team will find anyone alive under the rubble of these apartments in Antakya. What they're trying to do is at least give relatives a body to bury. Mehmet Güler lost 5 members of his family.
It has been 14 days. I'm waiting for my aunt, dead or alive. What matters is we get her from here so we can bury her and give her a place under the soil.
Mehmet's aunt is classified as missing. Amidst the constantly updating statistics on the tens of thousands of dead or injured or homeless, there's one number the Turkish government can't provide. It doesn't know how many people are still missing. The scale of the disaster and the expectations of the survivors takes its toll on the more than 35,000 Turkish and foreign rescuers working here.
We have psychologists in our team offering support to help us get over stress and depression. I've never seen an earthquake like this in my whole life. You have to shut down your emotions when you do the job.
In Antakya, survivors have access to food, medicines and tents, but the government wants somehow to start rebuilding as soon as possible. At least 345,000 apartment buildings have been destroyed, according to the Turkish government. Of course, every one of them somebody's home. And now that the search and rescue operation has effectively ended, the task of demolishing and rebuilding is beginning. It may prove impossible to calculate exactly how many people are missing or dead following the earthquakes here. But in some places they know. Every balloon here represents the life of a child that lived in this apartment.
Maria Kudiakova arrived in Argentina last December. She's from Russia, but decided to leave her country because of the war in Ukraine. She was 28 weeks pregnant when she landed in Buenos Aires. Now she has a son, Lionel, who was born in January and named after Argentina's football star Lionel Messi.
In September last year, we noticed men were being recruited and there was a risk my husband could be forced to join the army. So we decided to leave. My husband travelled first to Armenia and Turkey, while I stayed to get our children ready.
Maria is not the only Russian who has come to Argentina in recent months.
Thousands of Russian women have come to Argentina to give birth. People from Russia do not need a visa to enter this country, and their children born here can apply for their nationality. According to Argentine law, their families can also apply for citizenship, something that is an appealing option for Russians who are hoping to get another passport.
A Russian passport is far more limited internationally than an Argentine one, and authorities here have started to question the women on arrival. Some were told they could be deported and needed legal assistance to remain in the country.
We noticed some tickets only had reservations and no return tickets, so we had to check whether they were faking why they were coming. Some of the women were 33 weeks pregnant and wouldn't give a proper reason for coming, which sounded the alarm to the immigration officers.
Kirill Makovev has set up a service to assist people from Russia who want to move to Argentina. He also helps women find a doctor, a hospital, and get their papers in order.
With the Argentine passport, you have more than 170 countries open for you, and I made a table comparing the passports of Argentina with other countries in the region, and I realized Argentina is the best one. And it's legal, and that's why I'm helping those who want to come here to give birth.
Argentina's authorities say that many of those seeking citizenship for their children are exploiting Argentina's laws and have no intention of staying after the passport is granted.
MFCR, Old Road United Jets and Salt Island Auto Supplies Connery FC laid down markers to the rest of the SKNFA Premier League with resounding victories on Sunday at the Warner Park. First, it was Connery FC dismissing Elko Limited Security Forces 3-0 in the early kickoff at 2 p.m. Quinnicky Clark scored in the 3rd minute, Niquan Phipps added a second in the 53rd minute, and I Liberty Pemberton in the 76th minute. In the days of the match, Tiquani Williams signaled his intent to become the league's top scorer for a second season in a row, scoring a hat-trick and leading Old Road to a 4-0 victory over St. Peter's. Tiquani started his hat-trick in the 2nd minute of the match. Then in the 24th minute, he added a second, and then from the penalty spot in the 29th minute. Niquan Brown also scored from the penalty spot in the 65th minute to give Old Road a 4-goal lead. Coach Alexis Morris of Old Road said the manner of his team's victory is a message sent to the rest of the league that Old Road is a team to be reckoned with.
Well, it's a step in the right direction, and I must say that definitely is a statement for the other teams that OR will be, as I said before, OR will be a force to be reckoned with, and we demonstrated some of it tonight. We've been practicing for quite a while since December, so everything is just bearing fruit right about now, and we're just hoping that we'll have an excellent season.
For Austin Deco Huggins, the reason for his team's poor performance, especially in the first half, was due to a makeshift defensive unit he had to deploy due to injuries to some key players.
Well, I think we were too relaxed. We had to play with a makeshift defense. Today was the first time that some of those guys played because we are now faced with a lot of injury. I don't know if it's because the season started in a hurry, so we didn't have enough time to condition our players. But nevertheless, we had to reshuffle, and the main goalkeeper, he as well, was out from this game. So everybody was like new. We had to make the changes today because from yesterday practice, we learned that some players won't be in because they were injured. So, like I said, it just was a makeshift. So, I think they did creditably well in the second half than the first half.
So here are the results of this past weekend's SKNFA Premier League action. On Friday, Saddlers United, they were crushed by Village Superstars 4-1, and Keon Rockets defeated Bath United 4-2. Both matches played in Keon. On Saturday, Sandy Point, they were edged out 2-1 by Newtown United. St. Paul's United defeated Garden Hotspurs 3-1. Both of those games were played at the Newtown playing field. And as indicated on Sunday, Connery defeating Security Forces 3-0 and Old Road crushing St. Peter's FC 4-0. So after the second match week, we see the point standings. Keon Rockets are on top of the league, but look at this. They are on top with 6 points, as well as Newtown United and Connery, all three on 6 points, and all three with a +5 goal difference. Keon, however, is at the top of the table because they scored more goals. They scored 8 as opposed to Newtown's 7 and Connery's 5. In 4th place, Old Road United Jets. They're now on the board with 4 points after drawing 0-0 with St. Paul's United last week. St. Paul's are right below, also with 4 points, but with a lower goal difference, a +2 goal difference to Old Road United Jets +4. Connery and Old Road are the only teams so far in the league yet to concede a goal. Village Superstars, they're now on the board after losing embarrassingly to Keon last week. They now have 3 points after defeating Saddlers United on Friday. They're now in 6th place. In 7th is Garden Hotspurs with 3 points, and Saddlers United in 8th also with 3 points with a lower goal difference. Sandy Point FC, Security Forces, Bath United and St. Peter's FC are yet to register a point. They are in 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th place respectively. The SKNFA Premier League continues this Friday with matches played at the Newtown playing field. Rams Village Superstars bounced back from their opening defeat last week to trounced fast-cast Saddlers FC 4-1 in SKNFA Premier League action on Friday at the St. Mary's Park in Cayon. Leroy Hanley got the goal scoring off for Village in the 21st minute before Declan Watley of Saddlers equalised from the penalty spot just before half-time. In the second half, though, it was all Village with goals from Dajal Kelly, Devon Elliott and Kimari Rogers in the 52nd, 71st and 80th minutes, respectively. Coach of Village, Stephen Clark, said the difference this week with Village was that his players were more competitive.
I would say we competed. Against Cayon, I didn't feel we competed hard enough. But in this game, I feel we competed a lot more. And we dealt with what Saddlers brought. We went on the training ground and basically focused on defending. Because that was a key point in the game against Cayon where we lost really, and we did come back and I was pleased with the defense. We gave up one goal, but still we gave up one in the first half and keep a clean sheet in the second half, so I'll take that as a plus.
As for Saddlers, their coach Samuel Phipps blamed the loss on a defensive collapse.
We had a defensive collapse, especially with the first goal. Easy defensive error that we made and earned Village a goal. We fought back and we got a goal before halftime, and then after we came out again, a soft goal again. It was a defensive error again between defense and goalkeeper. Second goal, and then there were a bunch of defensive errors. So I think that we have to go and work on our defense, how we get the ball out, how we work on the pressure when we have players coming, because then it was not such a difficult game. In my estimation, we had a lot of good plays, but when the ball is in our defensive third, I think we need a lot of work to do there.
In the night's other match, home side Flow 4GKM Rockets held off a late surge from Hot Springs Bath United to win 4-2. Cayon started off lethargic, much to the chagrin of the home fans, eking out a league goal just before half-time from Carlos Bertie. Devontae Carty doubled that lead in the 48th minute with a breakaway run, but a stunning strike from yards out by Chris Brown in the 69th minute kept Bath in the game. A second goal from Bertie in the 82nd minute put Cayon back in the driver's seat, but the home side gave Bath some hope, giving away a penalty which was converted by Jalden Myers 4 minutes later. But a couple of changes in the dying moments of the match by Cayon saw two of their substitutes combining to seal the victory for Cayon. An excellent pass from Joshua Bradshaw gave Raheem Davis a golden opportunity which he converted in the 90th minute. Head coach of Cayon, Al Edwards, concurred Cayon's slow start.
They got a bit complacent in the first half and went away from the game plan. And so in the locker room at halftime, we had to reiterate what we came to do. Move the ball more quickly than they were doing, not hold on to it. And we were leading comfortably with 2 goals. And then complacency, as I said before, crept in. A mistake, and we know Bath famous for that. Most of the time they score against us is on capitalizing on a mistake. And so said, so done. A scheme of a shot that gave them the first goal. And I didn't really see the penalty, but nonetheless they got a penalty. But we always wanted to get that extra goal, and thanks to our subs and strikers, we got that extra goal and felt comfortable until the end.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boone. Here is a look at the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.